Another episode of FinTech Fridays. I am super excited today to have my new friend, Brandon Spriggs, join us. Brandon is a co-founder of a company called Surveyloop, which we're going to learn all about. Brandon, Surveyloop, and the cool things they're doing to serve our industry. Brandon, welcome.
Hey, thanks. Excited to be here. Thank you for the opportunity to meet with you today. It's exciting.
You got it, man. I tell people on this show, I love to introduce cool new people, products, and companies, and we get to do all three. Today, you and I have had the pleasure of getting to know each other over the past few weeks/months, and it's also allowed me to understand a little bit about Surveyloop. But before we get into what you're doing with Surveyloop and the products you have, let's talk a little bit about your journey, because you've kind of made the not to reference rethink, but you've had to rethink a little bit of your own personal journey, and that's led you to this to co-founding Surveyloop. So tell us a little bit about how you got where you got today.
Yeah, absolutely. So my background is in enterprise technology and software. I've been working within the financial services industry for a little more than the past decade. Most recently, I had a really fantastic opportunity to spend 3 years in sales at a company called Denim Social. Denim Social is a best-in-class social media management platform designed specifically for the financial services industry. And what's interesting is when you're working with loan officers, insurance agents, financial advisors, corporate marketers within this industry, and you're talking to them about social, one of the things that goes hand in hand with social media is creating a great customer experience. And social really becomes a vehicle to help tell that story of the way that you engage and interact with your customers on a day-to-day basis. And similar to outlets like Google, where consumers go to find you, folks go now to social media to learn more about folks that they're considering doing business with. So over the course of my time at Denim, I spent a lot of time talking to folks about how to tell that story. And I saw a really great opportunity to leverage technology to provide a customer experience platform to make it easier for loan officers to collect and leverage customer feedback, whether they're trying to do to identify areas of improvement for their business, whether they're trying to spotlight things that they do really well, whether they're trying to boost their online presence by collecting more Zillow, Google, or Facebook reviews, or they're just thinking outside of the box and wanting to rethink in lieu of your recent book publishing, how they and engage with their customer in today's digital environment. Folks aren't meeting face to face as much as they used to.
Yeah, it's amazing how you connect the dots between the social media and the platforms and content and reviews. And I love how you kind of kicked it off by saying people are they're looking people up. Like, I do this all the time in our business. If someone says, "Hey, do you know such and such?" First thing I do, I go to LinkedIn and I look them up on LinkedIn. It's like, first thing I do, period, end of story. And so thinking as a consumer, I think you're right. They're doing the same thing when they're introduced to a loan officer or a real estate agent or any other professional for that matter. They're going, all right, who is this person? And by the way, what do others think of this person? Right?
Yeah.
And so that's a good segue into Surveyloop. Love the name, by the way. Totally, it makes sense to me. Tell us a little bit about the company that you co-founded, and then again, what the product and the services that you're bringing to industry.
Absolutely. So Surveyloop's a customer experience platform designed to transform the way businesses collect and leverage customer feedback. And there's really one mantra that we beat our drum to week in and week out, and that's that Surveyloop at its core needs to be easy to buy and easy to use. Following Denim's acquisition last year, I wasn't 100% sure that I was going to embark on starting this company. The first step to knowing if you have something with a new business idea is to validate it by other executives and folks in the industry. So I reached out to my network and started meeting with folks and asked them where they saw the opportunity. And you'd be surprised, most organizations aren't thinking beyond your 3 or 7 day post-close reactionary type of process for collecting customer feedback. And we know that today's modern buying process has all sorts of steps and stages throughout the customer journey, both while they're active in your pipeline, and then also while you're trying to nurture and continue to build on that relationship between purchases or between interactions. So I saw just this huge opportunity to leverage my tech, build it in a way where you didn't to make a massive upfront investment. Virtually anyone can activate an account with Surveyloop, same day start collecting feedback, and do it in a way that's 100% white labeled and branded for their business. Because at the end of the day, standing out in today's digital ecosystem is tough. So we thought, hey, what better way than to just look for a next opportunity? Let's create one by starting this business, building a tool. We were really fortunate to have a very engaged group of beta participants. We spent the latter part of last year in a closed beta, so that when we launched version 1 of our product, we launched the right product that can deliver value to loan officers and folks out in the industry from day one. And I feel like it's in large part because we leaned in on folks in the industry. We built what they told us needed to be built.
Yeah.
And then we've kept our mantra simple: easy to buy, easy to use. So there's monthly plans. If you want to save some money, you can try an annual plan. You can set up 1 branch. You can set up 100 branches. At the end of the day, our tools should be easy to pick up and get value from, and easy to add layers and sophistication, whether it's through automation, customization, custom configurations, that sort of thing.
Yeah, I love the easy to use, easy to buy, easy to use. I'm going to probably steal that, because that's a super again, very intuitive.
Well out of bed in the morning.
So if I'm a team leader, a branch manager, a P&L owner, and I'm at an organization that gives me some flexibility to use different tools, because not every organization does that. We understand that. Tell me a little bit about how, when you say the easy to use, how simple is it for me as a branch team leader to implement and use?
So pretty soon, here in the coming weeks, I'll give you a peek behind the curtains. We'll actually launch a completely PLG-led motion where you'll be able to go to our website, build your own plan, swipe your credit card, and you're off to the races. And really, when it comes to collecting customer feedback, we believe that it should be just that easy to use, right? And all the tools are at your fingertips. When you log in for the first time, you're going to have a template library full of surveys that have already been pre-created for you that are specific to your role, your industry, your teams, et cetera, right? So with Surveyloop, there should be no self-onboarding. A lot of legacy traditional tools, they require a 3, 6, 12-month implementation timeline to start experiencing value. But we want you to log in, see a library full of survey templates that really get your wheels spinning. If you've only been doing a 3 to 7 post-close survey after you've closed a loan with someone, you should see the templates that are in our library, and it should start getting your wheels turning about how to engage customers at different stages of the customer journey. They should already be pre-created for you, so you don't have to start from scratch. Maybe all you do is start applying your custom branding, because at the end of the day, they're doing business with you, Brian. They're doing business with FinLocker. So the fact that Surveyloop is the tool to collect that customer feedback from a consumer's perspective isn't nearly as valuable as knowing that it's you reaching out at points of their journey, showing a natural interest in their well-being, ensuring that they feel like they have the right information, the right partner when they're making a large financial decision. It's easy even for myself to forget. I'm going through it. the process of building a new home right now. And it's easy to lose sight of just information that's getting back and forth. And if you've never done it before, if you never went through the process before, there's this large knowledge gap between me as someone who's not doing this every day and the professional that I'm working with, that all they do is live within that ecosystem. I experienced that with Surveyloop, where we're a small team, we're a startup right now. So I'm throwing my hat in every functional ring on a day-to-day basis. And I have to tell myself to apply the KISS, apply the keep it simple, stupid mentality of remember to meet your customer where they're at. They don't live and breathe customer experience or surveys and reviews on a day-to-day basis. So you've got to figure out what makes them tick, what motivates them, what they care about, and then find that intersection. Who's Brittany? She's awesome.
Oh, yeah.
Following Brittany's content. She said the super fans are created at the intersection of your story and your customer's story. And that's another one of those things that I write on my own internal wall, right? Of never lose sight of that, because all at the end of the day, because we're great technology built as well.
So you've said at least twice, maybe 3 times, don't just rely on the 3-7 day post-close, right? Those are important, by the way. I don't think anybody's saying
absolutely
don't do those. And so as you were talking, I was thinking in my mind, okay, where else would I survey? And so this is what came to mind. I'm a loan officer. I'm focused on educating prospective first-time home buyers way up the funnel. I'm talking 6, 12, 18 months up the funnel, right? Before they're really ready. I want to be that trusted source of financial education. So one of the things I do is in my community, I put on first-time home buyer classes, seminars, webinars, however they're done, virtual, in real life, combination. Why wouldn't I survey every one of my attendees to my seminar each time I do that?
That's right.
Right? And
100%.
If I think about it the way you're describing it, this is before there's even an application for a loan. I'm asking you to tell me how I did with this session. Did I add value? Have I helped you get closer, in your understanding of the process, et cetera, et cetera? And now the light bulb's going off in my head. I'm like, if I'm collecting data 6 months before there's even a loan application on someone that's telling me how great my class was on teaching them how to be a successful home buyer, and that now becomes publicly available, how many other people that are 12 months away from being in that same position see that review, see that feedback, and say, well, I want to go to Brian's class? And it's like this virtual cycle of building your funnel through customer feedback and customer experience.
Yeah, you're so right. There's a survey for that. I think one blockage point for a lot of professionals today is not knowing where to start. If you've only been doing 3 or 7 days close, that's a 1 to start. It's the same type of way to collect feedback. Imagine taking a more conversational approach where you can apply custom if-then logic, and you can really start to apply different types of questions to your survey response and get a new level of insight. I'll tell you what, one of the most rewarding experiences I have had since founding Surveyloop is sitting on calls with revenue-focused sales leaders and giving them insight to exactly what you just said. Right? They're putting all this upfront work to host a seminar, to host a class, to host a recruiting event. And there's little to no data aside from a couple of baseline metrics to know if that was successful or what they should potentially change or tweak to move the needle in the future. Because at the end of the day, we all want to double down on things that we do well and make them even better. But a lot of times, if you don't a tool like Surveyloop, you're not getting the data and insights to tell you exactly what you're doing really well. And it's so rewarding to sit on calls and walk through data and feedback responses and seeing the light bulb pop off. Aha. Oh, wait, I talked to that person there.
Yeah.
I had a conversation with them. I can't believe they actually did the thing. They gave me that feedback. And so you move into this scenario where you become more than a star rating. You become more than your NPS rating. You start to actually get actionable insights that you can use to tweak your strategy moving forward, which is what gets us really excited here at Surveyloop. One of the things that from a data and analytics perspective that we saw a huge opportunity with even very early in our journey is the application of generative AI and using AI to scan survey responses and provide consolidated summaries, both on things that you're doing well, but then also opportunities for improvement. So there's so many awesome ways that not only can we think about different ways of engaging with our customer, but we can think about different ways to leveraging the analytics and insights that we're getting to actually craft actionable strategies. Imagine like a world where this data is being automated and brought to my fingertips to where, coaching sessions on a one-to-one manager and employee basis have completely changed. Performance reviews have completely changed. Our event strategies have completely changed. It's how we engage with folks over the customer journey has changed. Things around marketing plan, because we new insights into our customer voice that we had before changed. So there's a lot of downstream positive and that can be had just by thinking outside the box of ways to collect feedback from your customers. And we think that the easiest way to unlock that data for you is to make it really easy to collect.
Right.
Take out all the legwork.
Yeah, I mean, in its simplest form, I'm imagining like going back to my webinar, right? My first time home buyer webinar. Let's assume I was in person or on screen, doesn't really matter. A QR code, please take 90 seconds to tell me how I did. Here's the QR code. Boom. Right.
Yeah.
And so I'm assuming this is where I get to learn about the cool product side. I'm assuming that inside of your platform, I can create that easy capture vehicle, whether it's a link or a QR code or potentially some other methodology.
That's right. So typically it's a link, email, text message, QR code. That's the mechanism that you're using to collect that initial response. And then typically in Surveyloop, folks are sending surveys one of three ways. If we were sitting here and we were walking through a demo of the application together, live on screen, just to bring it to life for you, I'd log into a live environment. I would have it already white labeled and branded for FinLocker prior to the meeting, and I'd send you a survey live on screen. Spoiler alert, I think I did that to you in the last meeting.
You did.
You did. So we do the thing last. You could manually send them. Another common way is folks will import lists. So loan officers, folks throughout the industry, let's start putting your database to work. It's so easy to start grabbing CSV files and lists and start deploying survey campaigns for various use cases. And then the last is automation. It leverage an integration with a third-party tool or a Zap to be able to create an automatic trigger. So that way when I update a lead status, a contact status in my CRM, or I move them to a different stage of the journey, our platform automatically knows intuitively and automatically to send a survey to someone, and then who that should link back to. And that becomes important because we're also in the business of helping you enhance your presence online. So part of the custom configurations are a direct link to an external third-party review site. So if I'm Brandon Spriggs and I'm a branch office in Oldville, Missouri, I'm about 30 miles west of the city, Google business listing, sure that as I'm collecting that feedback, it's going to my specific business listing. It's going to so I can not only capture that feedback, but give people an easy way to share their experience online.
I love that. I've got so many ideas for my own use case that I'm excited to explore with you.
I geek out about this stuff, so I hope I'm not rambling. I'm also new to the podcast, Rita, so
this is extremely helpful. This is why I do these record. I call the podcast just recorded conversations, because again, I'm learning as someone that wasn't familiar with your company, right along with the audience, which I think is a cool and unique way to kind of deliver this show. But Brandon, this has been super helpful for me. Like I said, my mind's already racing on some things that I could be doing right now in my business with Surveyloop. So thank you so much for spending some time with me. When our audience wants to reach out, what's the best way for them to connect with you?
So obviously there's a QR code in the book, which Brian, on behalf of the entire team at Surveyloop, we are so thankful and appreciative to have the opportunity to partner with you on something that is so important for the industry, right? I think in the last 5 years, through COVID and now post-COVID, it's really changed the way we work. And I think it is timely that folks need to rethink everything, myself included. There's takeaways in that book that I can work into my game as the co-founder and CEO of Surveyloop. So I really appreciate that opportunity and just the opportunity to get out and provide an impact. But if you use the QR code in the book, just hop on our website. There's a teaser explainer video on our website. Connect with me on LinkedIn. And let's set up some time to chat. If you don't have time to chat, we're happy to send you some pre-recorded demos to help you do your own research before ever talking to anyone at Surveyloop.
Love it. Well, Brandon, thank you so much again for coming on. I appreciate your support on the book, and I'm looking forward to diving deeper into Surveyloop. Thanks again.
Yeah. Thanks, Brian. Appreciate you having me. Great day.
All right, everybody. We'll see you back in 2 weeks. Remember, we are now every other Friday on FinTech Fridays. Thanks, everybody.